Days after a team of independent investigators released a report that put into serious doubt the official investigation into the forced disappearance of the 43 Ayotzinapa students, families of thousands of Mexico's other disappeared are now demanding lawmakers to pass unprecedented legislation that will not only punish perpetrators of the crime, but will ultimately lead to the location of the missing. We've got more from Telesur's Clayton Khan.
They're the families of Mexico's so-called other disappeared, parents, siblings, and spouses of the estimated 27,000 people that have gone missing over the past decade. Here in the country's capital, they hold a forum on preventing the crime and make it clear that the state has failed in prevention and in its investigations.
The state lacks a methodology in investigating cases of disappeared people, and thus in practice, we, the families of the victims, assume the role of the investigator and prosecutor's office.
The families demand a new law that will penalize forced disappearance and kidnappings, coming days after independent experts presented a damning report on the exemplary case of the 43 disappeared Ayotzinapa students. The report exposes structural failures investigating the crime, yet Mexican officials now seem to agree with their own contradictions.
I am convinced that the report is enormously positive. It seems to me that the report coincides with the official version and investigation in very important questions.
The independent investigators have proposed to Mexico's Senate that structural changes be made in how the authorities carry out impartial investigations. They say that the official investigation in the Ayotzinapa case came to quick conclusions on partial evidence.
What we are proposing is a fundamental change that we think should be adopted immediately. That is that forensic analysts be autonomous from the Attorney General's office.
Meanwhile, representatives of the families of the disappeared 43 students pushed for lawmakers to guarantee a new and objective investigation in the case, while at the same time investigating a possible cover-up by officials.
That there be the opportunity for the creation of two prosecutors' offices. One could be in charge of the substantive investigation in Ayotzinapa, that will be in charge of finding truth and justice in the case, and the other will be an internal prosecutor's office that will help us to explain what happened with those officials that were in charge of the investigation.
Ultimately, what the families of the 43 disappeared students and the other 27,000 demand are effective legal mechanisms that will lead to truth and justice, and finally the location, dead or alive, of their missing loved ones. Clayton Khan, Telesur, Mexico City.